But
what? Okay, I'm going to take you down a road that I know was very inflammatory for you when it happened, and so I'm going to enjoy. I feel like your response to this. When Pharrell got sued, you took a stance that I wholly agreed with. When that whole thing happened, I didn't really know how to feel because I didn't know enough about...
In case somebody wasn't following, this is when he got sued by Marvin Gaye's estate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Over the song... what was the song?
Is it Happy?
No, it was the one right before that. And it had...
It was a Robin Thicke thing.
Yeah. It had Robin Thicke. And anyway, while you're finding that, I didn't really know how to feel about it because I caught the vibe and I thought that when I heard it, but I didn't believe that it wasn't sampled. Blurred lines. Yeah. Which is, I really enjoyed that song. Yeah. And I caught myself because I, like you, have an affinity for old soul music. Yeah. So that's the first thing I thought of was they heard this song and they wanted to do their own version of this song, which admittedly by them, they said that. Sure. We really dug the vibe of this tune. Right. And we set out to make people feel that. Right. But what they didn't do is they didn't sample anything. Nope. They changed the bass lines. Everything was different.
There was not a bar of music that's the same.
The phrase was an 8-bar phrase, and Marvin Gaye's was a 16-bar phrase. Yeah. The whole thing was different, and then they lost the lawsuit.
Yeah, it's a terrible precedent.
And that's exactly, and what you said, you made a big, long post about it on Facebook, which I love that you're not afraid to do that.
I don't have anything to lose.
Well, yeah, I don't necessarily either, but I don't like being... I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about a lot of stuff to talk about it, but you do. And
I know I don't know anything. Well, I'm just an idiot enough to post it.
In that particular setting, you said what really stuck with me to this day is that at this point, because of that outcome of that lawsuit, now anything that's derivative of anything else is now illegal. Right. And that
is the precedent.
And that is what has happened. And none of that's happened since. No one's gotten sued since, but that is the precedent that everyone has to follow now. Right. Is that if I get too close, you have to make a song and then Shazam it and make sure that nothing pops up. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
never even thought of that.
You know what I mean?
Can that happen?
I don't know. Happen, right? Maybe. If it sounds too much like something, it'll pop up.
I don't think so, because the Shazam's looking at ones and zeros. I don't think that it knows.
But you get what I'm saying, though.
I do. Well, you know what, though? Here's an interesting thing. I don't think you're ever going to see... Well, I shouldn't say that. I think that if we see more of those kind of suits, and there's one last week, wasn't there? I can't remember what it was, but I think there was.
There've been a handful since then. They haven't been quite as right. They haven't been quite as inflammatory because they were more in line with the lawsuit. Right. This particular one, the court came out and said, you were derivative. And you're not allowed to be derivative. And it's like, okay, well, you're supposed to not take influence from anything you've ever heard. Yeah, like, that's terrible. Insanity.
Well, I don't think you're going to see a lot of artists suing other artists for any... As a matter of fact, I would be really surprised to see any artist suing somebody for something like that. I think it's almost always going to come from an estate or a lawyer that owns those rights, because they're just looking for money, man. Yeah. I mean, they're just looking for money. I don't think it has anything to do with...
That makes more sense.
Yeah, because...
I mean, it sucks.
Well, it makes more sense because the artist who is doing the suing, if you're going to sue somebody, but you best watch the fuck out, because... I'll be listening to every track to see if it has the same chords as my tune.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Scouring your catalog.
You don't do that to your own. And look, Western music, you got 12 notes. Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. Good luck. Every blues song. Who gets to go back? Who's the first?
Yeah. Who owns the 12-bar progression?
Right. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, look, it's obvious that took a lot from the Marvin Gaye track in terms of inspiration, but. They had a terrible lawyers.
They went as far as presenting full transcriptions of the song.
Right. But you can't
and they were completely different.
First of all, but a good lawyer would have never allowed the jury to be made up of anybody except music.
Oh, absolutely.
Experts.
Should have been, yeah.
Should have been. And really, it shouldn't have gone to jury. It should never have gone to jury. It should have been nothing but experts making a decision. Now, I don't really know the ins and outs of the case and how exactly it was settled, but I imagine it was a jury trial.
That was a big part of it, is that it was soccer moms. And,
right.
And
that's ridiculous.
Whatever.
Like, I mean, If I play 2 songs in 4/4 that are at 120 dance, EDM songs,
Yeah.
do you think that the average soccer mom or soccer dad is going to know the difference between those 2 songs? Like, let's take 2 EDM songs at 120 or 140. I don't know what EDM where the perfect thing is. Both have a basis of D.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah. You're
Good luck,
You're
man.
gonna go this. When did this song stop and this song begin?
Yeah, they'll have no idea whatsoever. So it's a very dangerous precedent. I hope that it gets overturned. I don't know if I don't think they're pursuing anything to try to at this point. But
Well, it made kind of everyone kind of throw their hands up in the air and go, well, especially guys like you and me, and a lot of other artists like us who are particularly fond of music from 50 years ago.
Right.
And a lot of my writing style and vocal and band style comes from that era.
Yeah.
And yours does too. And
Absolutely.
it's so and that scares the shit out of me.
everything is derivative. Everything.
Absolutely.
There's nothing that's not. You could take the most avant-garde, crazy pop or screw that. You could take avant-garde, experimental music, and you could still trace it back to something else.
Absolutely.
You would have to go back 100 years.
And that line goes all the way back there. Yeah. And there is a very concrete evolution of music that can be followed pin by pin. Yeah. And that is, I don't know, it kind of scared me when that happened. And when I finally rested on what I thought about it, where I kind of landed, and then I went, okay, well, I don't have any songs that are popular in any kind of grandstand situation.
Selling millions of copies. Yeah.
Right. But if I had a song on YouTube that did go viral, and then I got sued by Stevie Wonder's estate, like that would be not only detrimental to my career, but to my entire fragile ego that goes along with, you know what I mean? Because I would go, okay, well, I've never had an original thought in my life. Like, what am I thinking? But at the same time, Stevie Wonder has always been really, really good about people wanting to cover his songs and him wanting all about it. Like, I want to be a cameo in your music video. Even. Yeah. Like, and so it's weird that exactly like you said, it had to have been estates, just
it's a lawyer
looking for money. Yeah, man. That's what they're scouring.
Well, and that's why I can take solace in the fact that I don't make shit for money because they'll know that. Why would a smart lawyer isn't going to sue somebody that owes the IRS more than his entire estate's worth. Really. I mean, that's they would not have. They didn't sue him the first day the track came out.
No,
they waited for it to be. I can't remember. It was at least
that was a summer hit. I mean, song was everywhere.
100. I mean, we're talking about tens of millions, if not more. I can't remember what it was. This was.
Streams.
If you're hearing this 4 years from now, for some reason, this was over a year ago now, right?
Oh, at least, yeah. Because Happy was this past summer, so that was probably 2 years ago.